Greetings. Welcome to Karenhope'S 15 Minutes of Solid Inspiration, the channel where hope grows inspiration. Thank y'all for being here. So, as usual, I'm jumping on the channel right quick to let y'all know that episode 100 of Karenhope'S 15 Minutes of Solid Inspiration has been produced and published and is ready for listening, available for listening in the podcast platform links in the description box below. Please check it out. Today's episode is titled Pick It Back Up. Now, what it's all about is our passion and how, going into adulthood, everything we have to do, the life we have to live, marriage, work life, letdowns, come-ups, whatever, how it, sometimes our passion, that passion that we had as children, it's kind of lost in the sauce, right? Just kind of dwindles away. And sometimes we forget, or a lot of times we forget, that our passion is actually the seed that was placed in us or planted in us as children that's supposed to lead us to where we're supposed to be. Like literally leads us to our life purpose. So sometimes if we feel like we're lost, it's all about if we feel like we're lost and what we're supposed to be doing in life, all we have to do is reignite our passion and we will find it. We will be reminded, we will be reminded and we'll remember. And it will be easy sailing from there. So, again, check out today's podcast episode. And then, like I mentioned, we have 100. Gosh, I anticipated when I started the podcast, Karenhope'S 15 Minutes of Solid Inspiration, when I started it, I expected to have, and that was July 3rd of this year, just a few months ago, I expected to have 100 by December. But passion kicked in, and I anticipate to have at least or almost 200 by December. And also I had no idea that I would have a YouTube channel, but passion kicked in. And I don't know how many videos do I have uploaded of that many more that I ever thought that I would ever have. One less. Do you know what I mean? One was enough. One was enough for me to accomplish something that I would never thought I would do. Y'all, it seems simple to most. We have to understand sometimes a baby step is a giant leap for someone. A baby step for one person is a giant leap for someone else. That's the truth. So that's why I thank you so much for being here with me, because, it's a giant leap. At least I'm not doing it by myself. Okay, so with that in mind, also, down below in the description box below this video, there's also a link for you to become a monthly supporter of the podcast. And also to leave me a voice message, y'all. We can really interact on YouTube. When you leave in the comments, it's really cool. It's a good way to, have a back and forth banter. But when the audio podcast, it's just kind of hard to have that kind of interaction. So please, you have the opportunity to leave me a voice message down there below in the podcast link. So, you know what I'm saying? Send me a message. I would love to hear your voice. Okay, now let's just wrap this video up. Let's wrap this video up with a little bit of, talk about a little inspiration when it comes to passion, okay? Let's talk about that a little bit because I feel kind of close to this topic. Kind of close. When it comes to passion, we have to remember to find it again. Not when it comes to passion, but let me just say that. Let me word it differently. To find passion again. If we put it down, to pick it back up, we have to remember what brought, a spark to our eye before or back then. Do you know what I mean? You might want to say years ago. We could say yesterday. Just, before this moment, which is the most important moment of our lives. What brought a spark to your eye? What brought a lightness will put a lightness in your step, because sometimes we can feel really heavy, right? Weight on our shoulders, heavy hearts. So we need to go pick that passion back up. We need to recall what filled our body with such excitement that it opened up a smile way down deep in our soul. We need to find that. We need to do that so we can resurrect the truth, our truth, that is self-love. And that self-love grows passion. It grows it. We can feel it from in the soles of our feet to the top of our head. We can feel this passion. And it has the power. It literally has the power. Because we co-create our own, we co-create. When we believe God and we stay in a positive position, we have the power to heal all of our wounds. We do. And open all doors of opportunities of all things, y'all. Sometimes we go to the money part, we go to the material, which is important, and it is valid. But the doors also include doors to being inviting and spiritually attractive and mentally attractive. Do you know what I mean? And I don't mean attractive, I mean pretty too, but when I mean attractive, I mean you can draw people to you. We need that to be able to mentor and teach. I also talked about in the episode today, and I won't talk about too much, you could go listen to it, but that passion, sometimes our passion, we get too old. If we want to be a quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. Y'all, I just had to say the Dallas Cowboys. Don't delete me. Don't delete me from your YouTube playlist. We can't be a quarterback our whole lives. Our bodies change. But passion will allow you to teach and coach and mentor. So never think that you're too old for your passion. It's passion because it is passion that allows us to take leaps of faith. Leaps. Grand leaps, leaps and bounds, It means we can do it more than once. And it's from a faith that's anchored in God. And it gets us to the other side. And when I mean the other side, I mean that door. But we could say around the corner. We could say around the band. We could say all of those things, but passion gets us there. Because we won't stop. We won't stop. Even when we get too old, even when we're too scared. Intimidated, all get out. So when we immerse ourselves in what we really love, and it's okay to do that, y'all. It's ideal, actually. It's okay. We can find our passion. We can make a life there. We don't have to be afraid of not doing what's best, because usually it's not about ourselves, it's about someone else, right? But guess what? When we follow our passion, we awaken a part of ourselves, and I believe this, y'all, that is connected to the very pulse of life. We know what that is. And everything seems to flow from there. What I say earlier, easy sailing, but what I meant to say was smooth sailing. That's what I meant to say. God is able, y'all, and He is good. And I will say it every time. I won't apologize for it. And when we follow our passion, we embrace our passion, and we go looking for our passion again. We go try to go pick it up. We actively go seek it so we can go pick it up. We know what it is. It's ours. It's not like we need to for someone to draw a description or someone to tell us what to look for. We know what it is. Even when other people don't know, they have no clue what our passion is, we will always know. We know what it is. It's ours. More than likely, we run from it. More than likely, it's not even lost. We have run from it. Stop running. It's actually probably just waiting for you. Like when you started running, remember that. When did I start running? Go back. Your passion's still waiting for you. Okay? That passion that takes over our soul and makes us feel invigorated. Remember that? It's the passion that we light up with a powerful desire and a drive, we do. And we know, like I said earlier in the podcast, we know because we get swept up and we forget about time. We forget about time. Like when you have good company and you're talking about your passions and you forget about the time. That's what passion does. You forget about your worries and you forget about your restrictions, your self-imposed restrictions and self-imposed limitations and self-imposed self-doubt and worry. It seems to dissipate instantly, right? When passion comes into play, you're like, whatever, I'm about to go for it. Yes, indeed. And everything that's meant to make us feel, like bad, when we're following our passion, because I had a friend tell me just the other day, girl, you're following this passion, some things are going to come at you. And I appreciated her advice because she's right. See, it had already been happening. So I had to get into a place already. But I do appreciate, man. I like it when a friend comes to you real. 100. Vanessa Holly, Washington, D.C. Whenever we are following our passion, we don't take things as an insult. Just, we don't. And maybe negative energy needs to hear this. And maybe positive energy needs to understand this. Right? Whenever you're following your passion, there's no room for insults. There's no reason to even feel bad about it. But it is a reason, and this is a reason to feel good. It's just one more reason, or 5 more reasons. However much those insults and blatant attempts to bring down your mood, it's just 1 or 5 or 100 more reasons to pray for patience, to pray for strength and guidance, and an understanding of ourselves first, to figure out why we would even be insulted, to figure out why we would even take it personally in the first place, and then go work on that. Because that is what's most important, working on ourselves, because we have a job to do. Passion is like the gas of our vehicle. We have a job to do. It gets us from A to B. It gets us in the parking lot. It gets us, in the building. It gets us in the elevator up to the top floor. It gets us all the way there. And when we begin to practice this, that was a tongue twister. When we begin to practice this, y'all, we come away feeling rejuvenated and connected to an energy that washes over into all the other areas of our life. Right? Everything starts to feel better and look better. It's passion. It's passion that does this. And by engaging in our passion, and I would like to say, it's not our doing. This is why it's so important to put our finger on it and keep it there. Don't take it off. And keep focusing on passion. Because we become that energy. We become passion. Do you know that? And oh my stars, I love that energy. I do. Because it's transferable, man. Like, we can share it. And it's so easy. And there's no like, what do you call it? Forcing it in someone's head, or you don't have to tell them over and over again, or you don't have to, you know what I'm trying to say. You don't have to convince anybody about passion. It's natural because it shines from our soul wherever we go. We can see people who are literally living their passion, like those sidewalk drawers. You know, those people that do the sidewalk art, or an artist, or a chef, or a teacher, an astronaut, equestrian. I mean, I can say and mention so many things that involves passion, not just some robotic, learning method of learning. You go in, come out, something, get a job. It's not like that. We know passion when we see it. We know passion when we hear it. Going back to the chef, we know passion when we taste it, don't we? It's all these senses are supported by passion. And we should continue to actively find ways to reignite passion and implement it into our daily life with things that make us happy, things that drive us. And involve the energy of our inner light, right? So we can begin to be led on a bright and bold new path of passion, and it can be expressed to the world. It should be expressed to the world. That's what it's for. Passion is not just for us. We're not supposed to have this passion and just stay locked up in our house practicing passion. Can you imagine a top world chef or an aspiring artist who is just so fantastic, but they're just painting and putting stuff in their garage? Or the chef is just cooking things and throwing in the garbage because all they just taste it. They don't want all that meal. Can you imagine that? To draw a painting, to draw a sketch that is detailed and beautiful and crumble it up and throw it away. You can do so many more. It's just another painting. Or drawing. But someone would have really appreciated and cherished that because they would have considered it a masterpiece, because it was and it is. Do you understand? So we should always follow the pulse of our passion. It is the heart of God's will for our lives, y'all. Okay? You have to remember that. Don't stop. Keep going. Thank you again for jumping on the channel and being here. And I will see you again tomorrow with some more inspiration on this channel.